I got sick a little bit.
And they're absolutely adorable. It's the most adorable thing.
Yeah. The next day, everything went wrong. And by the end of the month, we had another problem. Good afternoon, everybody. And in today's video, we're gonna talk about second month with a newborn. So this month was much more interesting than the first month.
By far.
By far.
Caroline has grown significantly. She's almost doubled her weight that she was born at. She's grown a couple inches in length. She was born 21 inches long, and now she's between 24 and 26 inches long. She doesn't fit into any of her newborn clothes or 1 month clothes anymore. Right now she's wearing like 3 to 6 month clothes. Sometimes a little bigger if we have the cloth diapers on her, just because they take up more space.
She almost outgrown size 1 diapers.
And we still have a lot left in the house.
Last month we filmed a video about our first month of being a parent, and we were telling you guys, which was totally truth, that she was such a good baby. She was sleeping so much, so quiet, never cries, never everything. And the next day, everything went wrong. So she was crying all day, she wasn't sleeping that much, and we were like, oh my gosh.
She wanted to eat every hour on the hour. She was so fussy, she would not let you set her down even for a minute. She always wanted to be held, and even when she was being held, a lot of times she was still upset.
Yeah, and we noticed that she was like kicking with her legs very hard, and we figured out that it was just a growth spurt. It was a very difficult time for her and for us too. You could tell that the baby was in pain. And the first day when that was happening, we decided, after like hours and hours of her crying, we decided that we're gonna give her painkillers, which was baby's Tylenol, just the smallest portion. And after 15 minutes, she was asleep.
Slept the whole night through. We went to the pediatrician that morning, and she had told us like, hey, she might need this, so they gave it to us at the pediatrician's office.
It really helped her out.
And we haven't had to use it since.
Yes! 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 Yes!
She gets little bouts of frustration, but I think it's stomach trouble mostly.
It's been going on for 3 days that she was like fussy, she was hurting, and poor girl. But after 3 days, she was back to normal, sleeping good again, eating good.
Laughing during the day.
A lot, yeah. She's way more interactive now, so it's like so much more interesting to just observe her and play around with her.
She can follow you with her eyes all the way across the room. And her hearing's gotten a lot better too. We've had to be a lot quieter when we're around her, like when she just falls asleep, because we'll wake her up.
Because last month we could even, vacuum next to her when she's sleeping, and she just wouldn't hear at all.
About halfway through the second month, we got a little concerned because Caroline was really constipated for over the course of 3 days. She was only pooping once a day.
First time she didn't poop for 30 hours.
Yeah, we were very concerned. We were just about to go to the hospital, and then she just filled the diaper. So we were like, okay, well maybe we'll wait now. Maybe it was just one day, and then the second day she didn't poop all day again, and then same thing at the end of the day, just one big one.
You could tell that she also was fussy because she had a lot of bubbles in her stomach. We could hear that it was something going on, lots of gas. We're thinking that it was because I changed a little bit my diet. I was eating things that I wasn't usually eating. I stopped eating a lot of greens, which that's a majority of my diet. And in a couple of days, it took 3 days to everything to come back to normal, and she was fine again.
And we haven't had that problem since.
And by the end of the month, we had another problem. It just a lot of learning experience through these first couple months, I feel like.
Things that just weren't even on our radar.
I got sick a little bit, I would say. I got a mastitis.
Hurts.
Which I know a lot of women going through in their first couple months postpartum. It was a very mild one, thanks God, but it was hard to go through. So what it is your boob basically getting those red spots that are like swollen, and when you touch it, it's very painful. It gives you fever. You don't produce enough milk. Just a lot of different things at once. I did have super mild one. I had just one red spot, and I was like, oh my gosh, I know what it is. Then we started to read about it. So whatever I'm gonna tell you right now, don't take it as
medical advice.
Definitely call your doctor when you have something like that. I didn't have to call doctor because I got rid of it super quick the next day after reading a lot of self-care advices in the internet.
We called the doctor to make an appointment because this was on a Friday evening this happened, and so we had called to make an appointment for the following Monday, but by Saturday afternoon it was almost completely gone. By Sunday it was completely gone. So what mastitis is it's a clogged duct in your breast. It can be caused by either an infection from the outside through the nipple, or it can be caused by just not pumping enough of your milk frequently enough.
So when it happens, you do have to pump a lot or just breastfeed a lot. It's really, really painful. But before you do that, you have to make sure you don't have pus. It hurts a lot, I understand, but to get rid of it, you do have to just push through. Also, I was putting a hot compress on a breast, and I kind of played with it. I rested, and within 24 hours, I was taking ibuprofen 3 times. It also helped a lot because I was getting chills. I was like a little bit hot. I didn't have fever, but I was quite hot and was also hot. You don't have to take ibuprofen. You can just take, this is a hard word, I will let him say it.
You can just take any anti-inflammatory, like ibuprofen is probably the most generic and popular one. Aleve works just as well. You just follow the instructions on the bottle. She only took it 3 times, and it's such a mild dose, it's not going to affect your breastfeeding or anything. It's totally fine. Just an anti-inflammatory to help reduce the swelling, hot compress to relieve pain and pressure, and then a gentle massage to kind of help work out the clog.
That's it. You have to take anti-inflammatory. What really saved us was frozen milk that I froze when I was overproducing a lot first couple of weeks. If you're overproducing milk, just freeze it and save it for bad times. Hopefully you won't have those bad times, but if you do, you're just gonna be prepared.
It sounds weird to be like, hopefully you'll just throw it out, but it's always good to have if something happens.
Okay, so those were the problems that we were having. Now on the bright side, Caroline started to smile a lot. She interacts with us too. When we like giggling to her or when we tickling her, she starts to smile and starts to be really happy.
She's starting to make sounds. She's doing these little gurgly sounds, and they're absolutely adorable. It's the most adorable thing.
Yeah.
Another big thing we've started on is a bedtime schedule. We've started to give Caroline a bath almost every night. Sometimes we skip a night just because.
She loves it
Loves
so
it.
much. The water, when we start to undress her, she knows that the bath time coming, and she goes in the bath time and she's like always does that because it's like a little bit chilly or like shocking to her. And then she's like, oh, and she just
It's the most fun 4 minutes of her day every single night. Just getting in the bath and splashing around in the bath, getting washed. And I usually sing to her when we give her a bath, and then immediately after her most favorite time is followed by her least favorite time, which is ending bath time. She hates getting out of the bath.
She's crying and crying and crying.
Almost every single time. We put her in that towel and she just...
Like, no, why did you stop it? It was so fun.
Really upset. But once we get her into the bedroom and dried off and in her pajamas, she
And
then
give her
realizes
food.
it's dinner time. She eats and then goes right to sleep
Right.
almost every single night.
It relaxes her a lot.
And we've gotten on a pretty good schedule. Like we usually give her a bath between 10 and 10:30, We're done by 11, and she's asleep by 11:30 every night. And she sleeps all the way through the night. She'll wake up once to eat at like 4 or 5.
Majority of the months was that she would wake up 4 to 5 and then 6 to 7. But right now, recently, she started to sleep through the night. I don't know how she does it, but that kid eats at 11:30 or 12, and then she falls asleep, and then she wakes up at 6:30 or even 7. I don't know how she does it. It's crazy, but that's what she's been doing. Tonight, for example, she woke up at 3:30 and then she woke up at 6:30. So it's just so different, but she's been sleeping very, very good, especially last week. She just would wake up in the early morning, 6 or 7. But when she wakes up at that time, she's hungry, so hungry.
Goes straight from dead asleep to just shrieking in hunger.
Don't forget about tummy time.
As for tummy time, though, we are doing a lot better. We have also tried to establish that in our routine a little better. It's like right before bath time, we do a little bit of tummy time, bath time, then a little more tummy time before she eats. So then she's nice and physically tired, relaxed from the bath, and then she eats and is full of food, falls right asleep.
Her neck becoming really strong.
She's getting really good at it. Like, she can lift her head all the way up and hold it for like 10 seconds, 12 seconds, like, and she'll push with one arm and she'll like almost push herself all the way over. It's exciting, but also kind of frightening. I'm afraid she's just gonna start rolling herself over.
Oh yeah, it's gonna happen soon. The most exciting thing that happened this month was Caroline figured out how to suck.
Fuck.
Stop it! She figured out how to suck on her thumb.
She tries to shove that whole fist in her mouth.
I didn't even know that babies like this age can suck her thumb.
It's so small! Her thumb is like...
She's like getting all in.
It's so tiny. And she'll manage to get that. She'll like pull her pacifier out of her mouth and then shove that
like
fist
so
in her
happy.
face.
Like smiling, she's like, yeah, that's what I wanted.
She loves it. We're not super excited because we don't really want her to suck her thumb. But there's nothing I can do. It's attached to her arm.
And attached to her jeans.
It's me. I was a thumb sucker.
I wasn't. I never was. I loved Binky though.
But you didn't talk for like a year.
Like
more.
Most of the kids.
Tie my shoes by 1 year.
So hopefully next month we can share with you how she started walking and talking and all of those good things.
3-month-old walking and talking.
Anyways, that's how our experience was with second month with a newborn. As usual, thank you so much for watching. We really appreciate you guys and all of your support.
If you liked the video, make sure to hit the like button down below. If you're not subscribed, do it. And we put out a video every Tuesday, so we'll see you guys next week.
Thank
Have a
you
great
so
day.
Much. Anti-inflammatory.